to do with this monitor thing.
Okay. So everything's on, so cancel. Everything's good now, so cancel. And then go back over to the rundown. Get your Taylor's name in one. Awesome. 45. Okay, pre-show is in A, open is in B.
Do you want everything in
No
one?
intro. Yep.
Okay, cool.
I don't think we'll need anything in 2 for a while until teases. $20 seconds. Ten to pre-show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, A.
Yeah.
Right now on KKCO 11 News at 10. A man is on the run after causing a bizarre accident early this morning. We'll take you to the scene. And some have seen the BLM's wild horses running free, but very few have seen them up close. How some are now taking these wild Mustangs home. Also, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's the Blue Angels. The air show continues in the valley. We'll show you today's performers. Plus, if you have a new iPhone 5, you may want to hold it close. Yep. We'll tell you why.
Yep.
Live from Grand Junction's news leader, this is KKCO 11 News at 10. 11 minutes of non-stop news, and your no-wait weather starts now.
2, 1, cue.
Good evening, and thanks for making 11 News at 10, number 1. I'm Taylor Tenby. Rob Hughes has the night off.
Read.
A man drives his car into a home and leaves
Video
his passengers and car behind. It happened early this morning around 12:30 a.m. Colorado State Patrol says a 2003 Jeep was traveling eastbound on E Road near 33 Road.
Yeah.
The driver went through a stop sign, hit a curb, utility box, and then finally a house. The driver allegedly fled on foot and remains unidentified at this time. 33-year-old Charles Kirby and 28-year-old Lucas Hartung, both of Clifton, were in the car when authorities arrived. They say Hartung suffered serious injuries. Kirby was not hurt. The crash remains under investigation, but excessive speed is believed to have contributed to the crash.
G.
Yeah. And a few hours later, a Dodge Caravan takes out a utility pole. CSP, again on the scene, says the car was traveling near G and 4/10 Road, near 36 and 1/10 Road around 3 a.m. The 21-year-old driver veered off to the right side of the road, hit a rock, and then finally a utility pole. He was wearing a seatbelt and was not injured in the crash. No alcohol or drugs are suspected to be factors. The Grand Junction man was cited for careless driving, and a power company was called out to make repairs. The Eagle County Sheriff's Office is looking for information after a body washed up on a sandbar near Gypsum. The body was discovered yesterday afternoon around 3 p.m. A fisherman saw a body located on a sandbar on the Eagle River. It was just behind the Gypsum wastewater treatment facility. Authorities say it's the body of a female, and the cause of death will be determined by the coroner's office. At this time, the incident is under investigation.
Taylor?
Some of us may never see a wild Mustang up close, but today not only did you have the chance to see one, you could also take one home. This morning, KKCO 11 News reporter Brian Schlonsky went to the BLM's Wild Mustang and Burro adoption. He spent the day with the Palominos donkeys and a few new horse owners.
Unpackage. Minute 22.
Let the bidding begin.
They're great for stamina, and they've got a good-looking bunch of horses here.
On 20 wild Mustangs and burros, rounded up by the BLM in Wyoming, Oregon, Colorado, and Nevada.
Looking into adopting 1 or 2, and we'd like to use them out trail riding.
Jim Hyrup is taking notes to make sure he takes home the right one.
I'm looking for dispositions and color.
I think you're actually reading pretty fast.
They'll have plenty of colors to pick from, like Palomino, Buckskin, Appaloosa, Black, and Brown. Christy Williams has already adopted 2 Mustangs of her own.
It took us about 2 years to get their trust enough to feel that we were comfortable having them trained at this stage, but it's been a lot of fun getting them used to people.
And she says even though training the horses can be a long road,
I would hate to see people adopt one and think it's going to be easy. It took us 3 months to be able to touch her.
It's more than worth it in the end.
They're trustworthy and they're intelligent and they're they're really hard workers, you know, they're hardy horses.
Stand it up,
Reporting
Kim.
in Grand Junction, Brian Shalonsky,
3,
KKCO 11
2,
News.
1.
Thanks so much, Brian. The BLM gathers wild mustangs and burros from public rangelands each year. It says it helps restore ecological balances by keeping their populations at sustainable levels. Then the minimum bid for an untrained horse is $125,
Oh, I
and
forgot.
for saddle trained,
Read to the next one.
$1,025. Some airport traffic today, though not because of
Video
people
B.
going out of town.
Yeah.
Day 2 of the air show took off at the Grand Junction Regional Airport earlier this morning. Viewers had a chance to see some of the 20 different aerial performances by both military and non-military aircraft. There are also local vendors out there supporting these angels, everything from food to military personnel educating the public about the armed forces. For some in attendance, the air show's return to Grand Junction has been a long time coming, and 4 years has felt like a lifetime.
Well, we wait for it every 4 years. It's one of my wife's passions is airplanes. We start tracking it about 3 months before we know what year it's coming, and we start tracking, planning around it.
Just in case you missed the air show today, you can still catch some of the intense action tomorrow. Gates will open to the public right around 9 a.m. Just visit KKCO11news.com for more information or to see our extensive coverage of this exciting event. A statewide group took advantage of the big crowds at the air show today. The Colorado Meth Project was on site with the focus of keeping kids off meth. Now, the group had a booth set up at the air show, providing information and giving out wristbands to help spread the word about keeping kids off this drug. Colorado is ranked in the top 10 states for total meth users. The project is working its hardest to reduce the rate for users by going to events and schools to help raise awareness.
The rate that teens are identifying the risk of meth has gone up dramatically, 9 points since we began. So we are making an impact, and we're going to see that translate into much better results in the future.
The project wants to get more people involved as volunteers, and today some of the volunteers were previous users, others had families that were affected by meth. For more details on the project, you can just visit coloradomethproject.org. The Parade of Homes is 31 years running, and this year, the parade promises something for everyone. 8 homes in Grand Junction, the Redlands, and Fruta are being showcased this year, and each home has its own unique features for every single price range. On the tour, you can get ideas to build, buy, or even remodel your home, and some of the homes on the route feature new state-of-the-art technology. As for the builders, they say it's special to be able to build someone's dream home.
It's a wonderful experience. It's, of course, one of the most expensive investments that someone's going to make. So they really count on us to, have the end product be a very high quality.
If you did miss out on the action today, you still have a chance to check out the homes tomorrow. That'll be from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. For more information, just visit our webpage, KKCO11news.com. Local runners and walkers laced up their shoes and hit the pavement for a good cause. The 3rd annual Sun Run took place today with around 50 people starting the race at the Glacier Ice Arena and going onto the Riverfront Trail. Event creator Tammy Duran created the event in honor of her father who was diagnosed and passed away due to cancer. Proceeds from the race will benefit the Cummings Family Fund through St. Mary's, and this year they raised around $3,000. For more information or to donate to the cause, just, again, visit our webpage, KKCO11news.com. If you're a frequent Interstate 70 driver, good news for you. The Colorado Department of Transportation is releasing a new smartphone app to help you better navigate your drive. It's called the C.Dot mobile app, very creative. The app gives info including speeds and travel times on the highway, road conditions, road closures, and traffic-related incidents, and road work on I-70, all between Denver and Vail. It will also send alerts to encourage drivers to avoid peak travel times. The next phase of the app will focus on the I-25 corridor on the Front Range. It should be ready to go later this winter. Unemployed and uninsured, millions more Americans could end up paying a big tax penalty that's under the new health care law when they can at least afford it. Lisa Sylvester reports.
60-year-old Sue Anglin has seen the ups and downs of life. She was laid off last year. Now she is out of a job and out of health insurance.
Since I have been of this age that I am now and faced with the prospects of buying my own insurance through the private sector, that it's become so difficult.
You advertise the
because
website a lot?
Extremely expensive. And I'm just saying, if
Did
this
you put
law
those in the
goes into
script?
effect, the way I understand it now, it's gonna be a hardship for me.
Anglin is referring to the new
Nice.
federal health care law. She and virtually all other U.S. residents will have to have health insurance by 2014. If not, they'll face a financial penalty collected by the IRS.
Peter.
New numbers from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office finds that 6 million Americans will likely have to pay that penalty.
People who are affected by it are the so-called working poor. They're working, they're making some income, they're making enough that they wouldn't be eligible for Medicaid, but it's real hand-to-mouth. It's day-to-day living on
Okay, that's all you got?
Starting off in 2014, the penalty will be capped at
No tag.
$285 for a family, or 1% of income. But by 2016, it reaches $2,085 per family, or 2.5% of income. Even some of those who work in the healthcare industry can't necessarily afford family health insurance, like Susan Guerin.
If you don't have any income, how are you going to pay the federal tax? I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. If there's no money, there's no money.
The Department of Health and Human Services is quick to point out that 98% of Americans will not be impacted by the penalty. And through state exchanges, health insurance will become more affordable. The Obama administration, in a statement saying, quote, "The health care law creates a new marketplace where consumers can purchase private health insurance and get tax credits to make insurance more affordable. Thanks to the health care law, more than 20 million middle-class people and families will get a significant tax cut, averaging about $4,000.
See ya.
Now, Thomas Jordan, you're watching the Weather Authority.
Both mics and cue.
Another beautiful day and clear skies. You were out at the air show today. How was it?
It was great. I've actually never been to something like that.
Right.
So over the past couple days reporting during the week, we got to go, and it was very interesting. I tried my hardest to convince the Blue Angels to let me get in the F-18. I begged. They were not having that. But today it's so cool because the jets go by, you see them go by, and then the noise just comes back. And
and I was out for a run, and actually I could hear them, before I could even see them. So pretty incredible, but perfect way to kick off the fall season, huh?
Fall is officially here. He arrived at about 8:45 this morning, and you can definitely see these temperatures as they start to drop coming up here in just a second. But if you were to step outside right now, 61 degrees in Grand Junction. Those east winds coming in at 6 miles an hour, and Montrose right above us at 62. Winds picking up from the southeast at 10 miles an hour. Humidity right at 28%. So it is definitely starting to cool down over these next couple days here in Grand Junction, as well as in Montrose, as well as across the region. And this is kind of what's, if it's anything here in the valley, it'll probably be a light sprinkle on your windshield, so don't get too excited. But over the next few days, you're seeing chances of some precipitation on Monday and Tuesday. Mostly cloudy skies on Monday with a chance of some thunder showers. And on Tuesday, we're having mostly sunny skies with a slight chance of some thunder showers. But as you can see on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're seeing sunny to mostly sunny skies. And on Tuesday, 75 degrees. That's great. Fall's here.
It's starting to get to those fall temperatures, but this is your first fall in Colorado. Your thoughts so
Yeah,
far?
well, we got here, November? So it was like...
kind of just missed the tail end. Like, you're starting to see the leaves changing.
Yeah, I was on top of the mesa the other day. It
Beautiful.
was gorgeous. So.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Thomas. Still to come tonight on KKCO 11 News at 10. Maybe you camped out, maybe you ordered online, or maybe you had some Apple connections. Either way, if you have the new Apple iPhone 5, consider yourself lucky. If you're looking for one now, you could be out of luck. Plus, many businesses around the valley are gearing up for the holiday season with some extra hiring. Now, a big-name national chain is adding its name to the group. We'll tell you more just coming up after the break.
Air services are provided by Estilos on Main Street.
2, 1, roll. 1747. Well, we were on time right until the 7 day. We're only 40 heavy. Only 40. Hold on. Corey, is there any time to drop this show? Any breaks? Next break? Yeah, we'll just leave it. We have time to drop in the next break if we need to, so we'll leave it. Maybe.